What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to tell you the single best habit which you can take from me that's going to completely transform the way you study, you stay consistent, you stay disciplined. And it's the one thing, if you gave me $1,000 and you said, what is the best way, right? Let's just take all the information, all the lessons you've learned in the last 4 or 5 years, and let's condense this down into one single tip or trick or habit. What would that be? What's the one piece of information which will give me the majority of results, right? If you ask me that question, this is the answer that I would give you, right? And it's really hard to come up with a solution for this. So that's why I've been thinking about this for a really long time. But it had to be something that sort of pulls everything together. It had to be something that is responsible for something else. It has to be something that starts a chain reaction of success, right? And that's how I think about this habit. We all know that in order to be disciplined, successful, consistent, all these things, right? If you want to study more, if you want to be consistent for longer, if you want to just do the things that you say you're going to do, if you want to increase your willpower, right? If you say you're going to wake up in the morning and study, if you say you're going to wake up in the morning and go to the gym, if you say you're going to start a brand new membership at a boxing gym or something like that, how do you make sure that you keep your word to that? Let's just say you want to sleep at 9 p.m. every single day. How do you keep accountable to that? And how do you improve your willpower, right? Everything that I say, improving your discipline, improving your consistency, your studying habits, all of this. The one thing which will affect all of this is going to be different to every single one of us, but I'll tell you the way I think about this. What I call this is a key habit, right? Or a milestone habit. This is the habit around which everything revolves around, okay? So I'll give you an example. For me, this was waking up before everyone else. This was waking up at 6 a.m., between 5 and 6 a.m., and going to the gym. That's the one milestone habit or one key habit which completely transforms everything else throughout the rest of the day. That's the one thing I have to do. Because if you think about it, this is how my day works. If I just get out of bed lazily at 9 or 10 p.m., my whole day is going to be really bad. Maybe a lot of people will say, whatever time you work out is whatever time you work out. If you do it at night, if you do it in the morning, it doesn't matter. As long as you get your work done, it's fine. If you stay up until 12, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it's fine, right? As long as you can get your work done, it's fine. People say that, and I've tried this over the years, but I've never been able to get the same level of success as I get when I wake up in the morning, right? So that for me is that one key habit which transforms everything else throughout the rest of the day, right? Not the rest of my life, but the rest of the day. Because if I can win the day, then I'll win the week. If I can win the week, I'll win the month. If I win the month, I'll win the year, and then I'll win the rest of my life. Okay, so if I just think about it in terms of a day, how do I make the day the best? That starts with this key habit. This key habit is waking up between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. and going to the gym. That's all I have to do. It doesn't matter if I get a good workout in. It doesn't matter if I get a bad workout in. As long as I wake up between 5 and 6 a.m. consistently and I go to the gym, then what happens is in the morning, I've exercised. I feel better than everyone else. For some strange reason, it feels like I've sort of taken a step forward in my life and other people aren't doing that. So I feel like I'm doing something that other people are not willing to do. And for me, the way I think about it is, in order to get results that other people don't have, you have to do the things that other people don't do. Okay, that's how I think of it. So this one thing of me waking up before everyone else wakes up and going to the gym in the morning is the one thing which actually transforms the rest of my day. Because if you think about it, I finish the gym, I come back home, what do I do now? I'm not gonna go back to bed, right? I've already done something productive in the morning. So what I end up doing is I just drink a coffee, I get straight away into my work. And then since I've been productive in the morning, I just sat down, I drank my coffee and I started doing my work. That momentum carries on for the next 3-4 hours. And if I'm doing deep concentrated work, my phone's outside the room, it's not with me. What ends up happening is I get more done in that 3-4 hours than I would have gotten done in the whole day if I didn't wake up in the morning, right? I get more done in that 4 hours than I would have gotten done if I just woke up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., just rolled out of bed, got to my work, like browsed on my phone as I was doing my work, blah, blah, blah. I get more done in that 3 or 4 hours than I would have done in the whole day if I didn't wake up in the morning, okay? That's how effective this waking up in the morning is for me. That's what I've realized. Because for me, I hate waking up in the morning. It's not something I like doing, but it's something that works for me. So since it works for me, I do it over and over again. It builds my discipline. It strengthens my willpower. and it creates that upwards spiral of success. I need that first thing in the morning to make sure that everything else goes perfectly throughout the whole day. And it's what makes me really excel at everything I do. Okay, so I'll give you other examples of key habits or fundamental base habits which transform everything else. Okay, for some people it might be as simple as not even going to the gym, right? Just doing 10 or 20 minutes of intense workout. It might be just doing burpees or push-ups or whatever, if you can do that in the morning. For some people, it might be just meditating for 2 or 3 minutes, right? For some people, it might be intermittent fasting, not eating until 12. If you don't eat till 12, you end up getting a lot of work done, right? For some people, you might not even have to wake up in the morning. And the way that everything might work in your brain, because everyone's brain is different, the way everyone is wired is different. For me, the only reason I work so productively when I get up in the morning is because in my brain, I think that I've done more than everyone else before they've woken up. So that carries on throughout the rest of the day. Do you see how it works? So the only reason that works is because I think like that, but everyone doesn't think like that. So you have to understand the way you think. And if you can understand the way you think, then you can take that to your advantage and you can push it throughout the whole day, right? So for some of you guys, you might not be thinking the way I'm thinking, right? You might not be waking up in the morning and be like, I want to get more done than everyone else before they even wake up, right? If you don't think like that, then for you guys, it might be waking up at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and meditating, right? Making sure your mind is calm. Or for some of you might be not using your phone for the first hour or the first 2 hours, right? This is obviously something you have to test out, but I gave you just like 5 or 10 off the top of my mind, things or key habits that you can turn into rituals around getting your day started, right? The whole point of this is to turn this habit into a sort of ritual. If you can turn it into a ritual, that ritual starts the upward success, the upward spiral of success throughout the day. That's the whole point of this. So whether that be waking up in the morning, for me, it's 2 things. Waking up, going to the gym. Sort of 2 things combined together. Doesn't even necessarily have to be going to the gym, even though that's what I do most days. If I can wake up before everyone else and straight away get into something productive, so I've smashed a goal first thing in the morning, that's what makes me smash the rest of my goals throughout the whole day. And just focus on getting the day right. If you focus on getting the day right, day in, day out, your whole life will be right. Okay, so let's turn this into the context of studying, right? For me, studying in year 12, even in uni, same thing. Wake up in the morning, study. If that's the main focus of my life, if that's what I'm trying to get the most out of, if I'm in an intense period where I have an exam that's worth so much and sort of dictates the rest of my life, let's just say VCE, for example, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm studying for 2 hours, deep concentrated work first thing in the morning, and I'm doing that consistently. If I do that, the rest of my day is fine. The rest of my day goes really well. Because you can do that, you can take a bit of a break, you can go do whatever you want, maybe you go to the gym, whatever. You go for a hike, you go for a run, whatever you like to do. You come back, you can start doing another session of deep work, right? Your day will go productively because all you need to do is just tell your brain, you need to show your brain or show yourself that you're capable of doing this. You're capable of this upwards loop of success, that you're the person that does what you say you're going to do. If you can show your brain that, if you can show yourself that, then everything will fall into place. So that is the one thing. In summary, I'll give you a summary. The one thing which will transform everything, the one piece of advice is find the key habit which will transform everything. Okay? The key habit which will make the rest of your day productive. For me, that key habit was waking up and going to the gym. For you, it might be meditating, taking a cold shower in the morning, intermittent fasting until 12 noon. Might be I already said meditating, but it might be doing vigorous exercise for 2-3 minutes in the morning. Might be punching a punching bag intensely for like 5 to 10 minutes, right? It might be anything. It might be, there's so many things it could be, honestly. But it's something that you have to sort of test out because everyone thinks differently. And the key is you have to take advantage of the way you think. You've got to understand yourself, understand how you think, what motivates you, and you have to play off that. For me, what motivates me is success. The way my brain works is I want to compete with other people. That's naturally how I am. So since I like success and I like competing with other people, let's show my brain in the first 2 hours of the day that I have competed against everyone else and I've outworked everyone else. If I can show my brain that, then the rest of the day will go good, right? So that's how you need to understand how your brain works. You need to use the exact same principle, transfer it over to your life. Action step, right? Make a list of things that you think, or based on your experience in the past, have really helped you be productive throughout the day. And what are the list of things that have really made you not productive throughout the day? What are the things that you do that really detriment your day? Because a lot of this is preventing the bad habits. It's not even about adopting the good habits, to be honest. It's about preventing the bad habits, okay? What are the bad habits? We wake up in the morning, we roll out of bed, blue screen first thing, we get our phone and we're just on Instagram, TikTok, we're just scrolling, right? Now your brain's just messed up. You can't go sit down. Attention deficit. You're from one task to the other. You can't think of anything deep, concentrated. You can't do any deep, concentrated work at all because your brain's all messed up from all this Instagram and TikTok you guys have been watching, right? So for some of you, it might just be as simple as not using your phone for the first hour in the morning. That's what might transform the rest of your day. So action step, come up with a list of things. Positives, negatives. What are the good habits which transform the rest of your day? What are the bad habits that you've done in the past which really detriment the rest of your day, okay? If you can find that, you can try test out these habits. You can do this in the morning, you can do this in the morning, you can do this in the morning. See how your day goes. See how your day goes. Completely eliminate all the bad habits, okay? Once you find that one thing which will help you, and for a lot of you guys, it will be waking up in the morning. Once you find that one thing, double down on that one thing. And that's going to be your goal for the next month or two. Just trying to be consistent at that one thing, okay? There's this book called The 5 a.m. Club, and he says something along the lines of all change is hard at the start, messy in the middle, but really amazing, or some other word, like really good at the end, right? So it's hard at the start, it'll be really messy in the middle. Some days you'll be waking up, some days you won't be waking up, right? There'll be weeks where you'll be really consistent, and then for like 2 days you'll fall off. But you have to understand that when it's messy, you shouldn't quit. You should keep going. And then at the end, when this becomes a routine, when this becomes a habit, that's when you realize it doesn't even feel like effort for me. I do this effortlessly, but it's something that is super hard for everyone else, okay? If you think about all these things these amazing people are doing, all right? You guys probably heard about David Goggins. You've probably heard about Wim Hof. For those of you that don't know, David Goggins has ran like 8 ultra marathons or like marathons which are 100 miles long. That's, I don't know how many kilometers, like 200 kilometers. He's done it consecutively 8 weeks in a row. So over the span of 2 months, he's ran like 800 miles. Okay, so it's like, I don't know, 1.5k kilometers. Yeah, 1,500 kilometers. Imagine running that. And he's done this every single week. For him to get to that level, right? And for him to just run, now it feels normal. He's set up things like on a light day, for him, a light day is like running 7 miles. Okay, 7 miles is like 15 kilometers. That's a light day for him, but that would be a super heavy day for me. If I had to wake up and run 15 kilometers, I wouldn't be able to do it, right? But for him, it's become a light day. Why is that? Because he's been able to train it consistently. He's been able to train that muscle of consistency and discipline. If you do that over a long enough period of time, what ends up happening is you start doing the things which other people struggle to do once, but you do it consistently, and it doesn't even feel like effort for you. It feels so easy for you to do that you're gonna look back over time and you're gonna be like, I'm so ahead of everyone else. So that's the one thing that you need to do. You need to find that one thing, the one habit, which will completely transform the rest of your day. Transform the rest of your day, and the rest of your life will transform.